Yo, what's up, guys? Doing another video here, mainly on the Russell 2000 RUT. So, so the Russell's looking pretty weak here. You can see we topped out around this level at 2466, around there, at a high of 2560. So you can see the past patterns. I like to look at the patterns here. See the past patterns here. You got that smart money reversal at the top, right? And then once it breaks that trend, right? As soon as the trend is broken, it goes right into distribution. You can see here this candle kind of marked that, right? Um, and then it goes into distribution, right? Then you'll get that next phase of distribution, and then right into accumulation and doing it all over again, right? So you can see back here in 2022, it did the same thing. You had that smart money reversal, trend breaks, and then it goes into distribution right away. And then you can see I kind of use the Elliott wave theory here to WXYZX. I believe that's the double combo wave, something like that. I forgot what it's called. But you can see here it's doing that same thing again here, right? Triple combo wave. There you go. So yeah, it's doing a triple combo wave. These are the two I like using. Uh, impulse wave and triple combo wave. So you see here you have your W, X, Y, Z. Y, X, Z should be the bottom back of accumulation. So what we want to look out for here next, I'll just pull the trend line out, capture the most obvious trend here. Looks like somewhere around here, right? So you can see that we broke out already, okay? And we are on this phase here, okay? You can see that we're on the next phase, which will bring us into the distribution phase, okay? You can see on a local scope, we have a pin bar over here. I almost forgot what it was called. We have a pin bar over here. It's a nice local top. On a small time frame, you can see how that would break down. And then you also have a wick here. So you kind of have like a gap, right? On fair value. Let's go down to the hourly. You can see how that kind of works out price action wise. All right. So you would have this low over here and then kind of broke that. Did a smaller, more of a local distribution here on the local time frame. You can see that's going to develop though, right? Let's say we want to bounce for this for the start of this week, right? Sunday now. I want to see this come back up here, retest, do something to that, and then have it kind of die off, right? Now this is that phase there, practically. We're just using this fractal as a guide. I'm not saying it's going to do exactly that, but patterns don't necessarily, patterns repeat, right? No, patterns don't repeat, but they do rhyme. So we're just looking for it to rhyme. We want to see the arithmetic come in, all right? So that's what your daily to hourly would look like. So now, since you can see where we are, right, we can kind of predict where we're going to be going into the next year, right? So of course, prices in the fall is going to take some time to reaccumulate. It needs time for that. So we can see a bottom in probably around the same time, April once again, right? I'll go back. You can see here we bottomed April to May. Market took off. Same thing here, May to June, July, roughly the same thing, right? I want to see that April to July bottom come in. So that's my outlook, the horizon for next year. Christmas rally, I was hoping we were getting a Christmas rally, but I don't think so. We're just gonna get a Christmas pullback, right? With the star at the top of the tree. Okay, however you make a star. Boom. Uh, let's layer. Let's do some layering over. Oh yeah, one thing I do want to show you guys. All right, so the heat map by chart prime. I didn't make this. So you can see we got the spectre trend over here in blue and the heat map, which is changing the colors at the bottom here. You can see that we're hot right now, right? Very close to that peak practically that happened at this bar here. Okay, just like here, same thing. It's hot over here, had to cool off, right? And then bottomed over here, continued, got hot again, had to cool off, but this time it kept going and really turned cold, right? Same thing here. Got hot. You can see the SMR spike out, fake out, whatever you want to call it, and then the rest unfolded, right? The same thing, right? We're at supply here, and you can see the exact same thing is about to unfold. Once you see these 4 market cycles, accumulation, expansion, distribution, contraction. Once you see those 4 market cycles, you won't unsee it, right? Let's go down to hourly. So I'm using the 144-day period. You could use 150, you could use 100, 200. It doesn't really matter. It's roughly the same thing. Right. This is just my preference. I just like the number. So you can see here, right? SMR, double top, whatever. Distribution. You can see it's getting rejected here underneath the spectre trend. Okay, same thing for here. Peak. Cycle dies off. You see the little gap there, right? It tries to aim for the gap and fill that a little bit, and it gets hot on the local scope, and then it cools off, right? It's hot on the local scope, cools off. And you can see the same thing here going all the way across. Okay, so right now in that cool off period, so we could kind of see this kind of pull back again, just to kind of shake people out and make you think that we're gonna continue going up, right? Which is not the case, because once again, the trend died off, it broke out, so that's it. If it didn't hold up, it's not gonna go up, right? It's done. Okay, we'd have to see some type of liquidity grab or whatever, like over here, and then look for an accumulation pattern at the top, which is not really the case. You're not gonna see accumulation at the top. Here, we like to buy low. We don't like to buy high, right? Another case is that we break out here, make some type of run up to like say 2800, and then we pull back to kind of validate that rally, right? You need to validate that rally. Then you can say, oh, we're actually going up, right? But I'm not seeing validation on a continuation to the upside. All right. Furthermore, the like this is the Russell 2000. Like it's not moving from here. All right. So that could tell you something of like how the future is looking like for the markets, because it should be performing, but it's not. It's not performing. Look over here, 2020. This is performing, but just like stagnant after. Just we're chilling sideways trading. It's not going nowhere. So you can see here, 2018, right? Nice trend. Same pattern. You got that double top pattern, same way it did over here, and then it sold off, distribution, whatnot, accumulation at the bottom. and then run to resistance. Okay, right? Raptors, Toronto Raptors in one around this time, right? That was nice, a nice distraction, and it blew off, and then shit hit the fan after that. Distribution, same thing. Okay, spiked out there, right? It's the same thing. So just gotta look for the signs and be patient, wait for the signals, and execute as traders, as investors, right? Let's go back to this chart. Yeah, this is just a moving average with a market shift signals. It's kind of like you can see where the liquidity is going and whatnot, or coming from. A cool little indicator. And then just color candles for volume and whatnot. So my Twitter, I did a post on my Twitter saying why I'm shorting Coinbase, and mainly because of this reason, right? So we'll put Coinbase up on this chart scale. We'll put Bitcoin up on this. We'll put USD CAD up on this. Okay. Put them all on a log. This is our main chart here. Okay. And then what is this? We got Coinbase in blue, all right. We'll put Bitcoin in like an orange, and we'll put USD CAD in green for dollar bills. All right. I'm gonna scrunch that down over here so you can kind of see what's going on. I'm gonna grab Coinbase, layer it over here, and you can see, excuse me, you can see over here, right, when the Russell's weak, we tend to peak, all right? That's a new saying. All right. This is USD CAD over here, right in green. So you can see, so I'm bullish on USD CAD. Oh wow, look at that. USD CAD peaked and the Russell peaked. For now, I'm still bullish on USD CAD. I want to see this go to 145 before we peak. But you can see something here though. You do see signs of weakness. By the time Russell has already kind of established this downtrend, you can see the dollar gets weak pretty quickly after it had gone up a bit, right? And that could simply mean that there's gonna be a reversal coming soon, right? So like this sell-off happens quick, right? So that's why you gotta grab it here. You gotta grab it now, because the dollar is already pricing in to drop by the time it comes to its low, right? So like if you want to go super long on a dollar, you have to be buying in from down here, right? This is already about to top off. We're about to get a liquidity grab soon. So, and then we'll go through that period of consolidation once again, right? If you go back, kind of a similar thing, right? They kind of peak and bottom roughly around the same time. So, timing is everything. Patience too. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. It's getting crowded here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. So yeah, same thing for Bitcoin. Like this stuff happens quick. Like if you want to be selling, you have to be selling like right here, right? Expansion, distribution, right? Once you start seeing that weakness in price, that topping pattern, look at that round off, right? Right, like the sell off was here. If you want to look to sell here, too late, bud. All right, too late. Depends how you're gonna draw this trend line here. for Bitcoin. There's so many multiple ways you could draw this, right? Draw it like this, fake out, right? Real breakout and retest, right? Already happened way at 114, 120s area, right? So this contraction phase is about to come to an end. You got a gap right here. 88,000 is my call on that. It has been my call for a long time. 88K, roughly, right? One thing I just want to point out, I believe we are repeating this fractal here from 21. So guys, keep an eye on that. Weak momentum is dying off overall. Okay. And you see dying momentum, the sellers are going to take over at some point. You can see here, nice run up, big difference, gap, big difference in price rise, right? Over here, look at that. It's getting tight. The bulls are not holding up, which means we're going to have big alt seasons coming. It's coming, guys. So you can see here on the last fractal, that was a 30K, right? 30K fractal, yeah. We only hit like 30K and then went up to like 64 or whatever. This was a 55, 60% drawdown, I believe. So if we were to repeat that again, that would bring us back to 55,000, right? Okay. So that means in 2026, we're going to see a nice bounce though, right? So you see these universities and whoever buying big amounts, right? Okay, when they buy here, they know that's going to do a bounce here or whatever. They're going to probably hold that. It's going to do this. They're going to still hold that. They're going to buy more here because they got large amounts of volume, right? So, but they'll probably most end up closing that position somewhere around 155, 160, depending how we want to move, right? There's slight uptrends. So maybe I don't know. Can't really predict the future, right? We could say 140, 150 for next year Christmas, right? October crash. So it's looking like, right? Something like that. October, November, December, January. Right? History repeats. So yeah, that's about it for this video. That's all I wanted to really touch up on was the comparison, the divergence between the different markets, right? Big divergence, right? This is flat. Everything else is stretching upwards, right? I don't think we're gonna get some blow off top or whatever next year or this year. Like local price action says it all. Like I don't know. We need to go down first, and then do some type of wicked move that we're all looking for, right? So that's my thesis on that, right? Bottom out somewhere around same area, I guess, 30,000, right? That's a nice psychological mid type way bounce, right? So I think this is the shakeout that we're gonna see, guys, right? And from there, whew, $1 million by 28, 2030, something like that, right? It's gonna be crazy, right? A lot of OGs on Twitter are saying, let me go to Bitcoin real quick before I end this video. A lot of OGs are saying that we're doing a 2017 repeat, and I think I agree with that. I'm not saying that we're not, right? It definitely looks like that for sure because let's look at a different chart I have here. I'm not saying it won't do it at all because honestly, like I believe we're on an 8-year cycle, right? Because the fractals always repeat. They always repeat, right? But over time, it expands. Over time, it expands, right? So it almost seems like if we're over here, and I guess you're gonna see right here, it's like we're in this little fractal here, right? So we want to see, and different times are different, right? Like this was probably like a 30-20% drop in this time, but now the time that we're in now it'll just look larger, right? Because it's expanding. So I want to say we're in an 8-year cycle, right? But the 4-year cycles are still a thing at the same time. They're at in the 8-year, if that makes sense. Okay. So if we're to copy this fractal here, now watch this, watch this, watch how crazy this is gonna blow your minds. Watch this. If I can even line this up properly. Where did I say we were? Or something like this. I'm not gonna line it up exactly because it kind of looks good enough, right? Similar pattern, but a different rhythm, right? So in the past we kind of went up more. Well, this time we're gonna go down more, but then realign with that entire fractal, right? Well, I'm not saying we're going to like 5 million. That's absurd, but it's not impossible. But here, what does that line us up around 700K? That's more like it. All right, I'm gonna drop this down a bit. Yeah, it's hard to really line that up, right? You could grab just that period. Maybe it'll line up a bit better with what we're trying to see here. All right, I'm gonna leave it as that. Y'all get the gist of what's going on here. All right, but thanks. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a comment what you think. Please, all right. Feedback is important. All right. Peace out.